Hello, everyone, and welcome to Girl Time Podcast. I am your host, Lanisha Huggins, and I am so excited. And y'all know every single week I'm excited for every single guest, but I am so excited for my guest today because I have my beautiful big sister, Lena Vannessa Tidwell Smith.
Oh, not the
I'm saying
whole
your whole
name.
government. It's
Right,
okay.
the whole.
Everybody gonna find out later anyway, so yeah, that's who she is. If you guys do not know, my mother has 12 kids that she pushed out naturally. Don't ask me how or why, but she did it, okay? And she still don't talk about it, but it's okay. We here, all 12 of
You
us,
don't.
we are here.
Yeah.
But
Live and
Vanessa,
well.
you silly. Vanessa is the fourth oldest, and I am the fifth oldest, and so we just kind of in the middle. And so today we are going to talk about how we grew up in the same neighborhood, but in different circumstances, and kind of dig deep into what it was like growing up in our neighborhood and with our family. And so just to kind of jump straight in, Vanessa, welcome to Girl Time. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thanks, Rob. Happy to be here.
After all the struggles.
Girl, listen, let's not even dwell on it.
But you know what? Every single week I have a struggle because it's just like something always goes wrong. And I know that we tried to do this yesterday
Life.
or Monday, today, Wednesday, I forget the day, but we tried to do this Monday, but I was in Chicago and I'm just like, okay, I can't do it here. This ain't okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But we finally got it together and we are here.
Yeah, girl, life happens and we just gotta work around it.
We grew up in the same neighborhood, but I lived with our mother because we don't have the same dad, but I live with my mom and Vanessa lived with her dad and her dad's side of the family. And I kind of went back and forth because when we were living in shelters and I didn't want to stay there often, I would live with Vanessa and her aunt, or I was live with another aunt or another aunt, and I stay with all the aunties. Okay. So for you, Vanessa, what was it like growing up in the situation that you were in with your dad and knowing who he was and living with his side of the family? What was it like?
I mean, it was great. I mean, I technically grew up like an only child, but I mean, I didn't. There was times that because I had so many siblings, I wanted my siblings all the time. Like I wanted my mama. Like you know, was happy about my situation, but being young at the time, I didn't realize how great I had it. And so I was just like, I don't want this. I want my sisters. I want my mama, and so that's legit like what it was for me. Like I always wanted to be with y'all and I hated that I couldn't be. It's like for me life was horrible, but as that was at that age. Looking back, it's like it was for the best for me, whatever, but it's not what I wanted.
Yeah. So what do you think about us coming to visit whenever we did? Like, what was that like for you? Because
Oh
I
my
know for
God.
me, it was great because I fell in love with TT. I fell in love with TT Laura, and I'm just like, I want to live here.
It was the highlight of my day every single day. Y'all don't understand how I would be in the car with my uncle and my auntie. I saw my mama from a mile away. Like, there goes my mama. And every single time they would pull over and it was my face would just light up because there goes my mama. And I would be able to see y'all and talk. And they never didn't let me stop. They never didn't stop. They always stopped and let me talk, let me see y'all, let me talk to y'all. And it was everything for me because I always wanted my sisters. I always wanted to be with my siblings. Like, why did I have to be here by myself? Why can't I be with them? And I remember Nay would always come get me when she would go see her boyfriend at the time. when she would go see him, she would always come get me, and that was the highlight of my day because that was my big sister.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she would always come get me just to come get me out the house.
Aww.
And Lanita would always, I remember when we went to Moore's, and every morning I waited. I wasn't going to school without my sister. Like, no, my sister's coming to get me. Lanita's coming to get me. She's coming. And I was wait by the door. My grandma would let me. I would wait by the door, wait for her to come get me, and we walked to school. It was like the highlight of my days.
I never knew any of that. That is so cool. I didn't even know that.
Yep, Nay would go get the baby, and she would come sit on the porch with me because I couldn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
And she would just sit on the porch and talk to me and talk with me and whatever. And it was everything for me. Like, she would come and with the baby, and she would sit on the porch, and she would have her boyfriend at the time. He would come. She would have him come to where we was at so she could talk, and just so because that was when I got to be outside, and I was so happy. I hated when she left. I hated it because I was like, why do y'all gotta go? I want to go with y'all.
That's hilarious. I never knew that. I love that so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that. So I have to say that for me growing up and not really being sheltered in that way, I had way more freedom that I didn't even want. And so like I felt like I would once I remember coming to your house and I was just like, okay, can I stay here? Can I stay here? I just want to stay. Like, no, you can go, but
I wanted y'all to stay. I didn't understand it at the time. Like, well, why can't they? Like, these are my sisters. Like, we got room. Like, we got a whole extra room with 2 twin beds. Like, why can't they stay in here? Just didn't understand it. Like, I wanted my siblings all the time. I wanted my mama. That's all I wanted.
So I have to say that my favorite time coming over your house was watching soap operas with TT. Oh Lord, she watched soap operas every single morning, and I'll just be laying on the couch because I didn't want to sleep in your room. I just wanted to lay on the couch next to her, and I remember watching soaps every single morning.
Yeah, we start with the Young and the Restless.
Yep.
Then we go to the news for 30 minutes, and then we go to Bold and the Beautiful. Yep. Then we went to One Life to Live, General Hospital, then Inside Edition. Trust me, I know, because I hated it. I was like, oh. Like, I just want to go to my room. Like, I don't even want to be here. I'm tired of watching this, but I was so into the stories. Like, I ain't had no choice.
And I have to say that she was into the conversation too, because you'd be like, TT, he just did this the other day.
Yeah, I ain't had nothing else to watch. That's what I had to watch. So I just had to get into it, figure it out. Like, okay, well, no, because why would he do that?
Exactly. So there was a time when the BET Awards was so popular. And we would always come, us and the cousins, we would always come to your house to watch the BET Awards. And it was just like so much fun because it was all of us together. And even though like I was used to being with everybody, but it was just in that setting and then talking about whoever was on the TV, it was so much fun. Like I wish I could go back and watch the BET Awards again.
It was always the BET Awards, and then we would watch wrestling, the pay-per-view.
Yep.
We would watch boxing, like,
So I remember back in the day when we lived on St. Louis in Ohio, Jackson. St. Louis and Jackson.
Jackson and St. Louis.
Yep. And I remember you coming over, and we only had like one bedroom, but I remember you coming over all the time. So like, what was that like for you to like come and stay? Because did you stay the night?
Never stayed the night. I never stayed the night. I didn't get to stay the night until I got older and grown and was like, okay, well, I'm about to go.
Yeah.
No, I'm not coming back tonight.
Yeah.
I hated it. I wanted to stay. I didn't want to go home. I just wanted to live the life that my siblings was living, because for me, y'all were living the life. Y'all got to be out all times of night. Not all times of night, but y'all got to be with your mama. And I didn't. Like, y'all could go wherever y'all wanted to go. I couldn't. I was strict. I couldn't go off the porch. Yeah. If I went on the porch, I had to leave the door open. Ain't no boys, ain't nobody coming on the porch. There was a whole gate. They can come to the gate and talk to me, but I can't go down the gate and talk to them. And I'm just like, it was, listen, anytime I was able to be with my siblings was the best time for me, because I was in heaven. Like, it was life for me, because that's all I wanted. I wanted my siblings. I wanted my sisters.
That's awesome. Because I definitely felt that. And I have to ask, when you found out how exactly, like when you understood how we were living, was that still something that you wanted to be a part of, or were you just glad that we was visiting?
No, for me, like, okay, so when I really, really understood it was when I was grown. Like, I really, like, man, wait a minute. That's how they were living. Like, and I cried about it, because I was like, I haven't had to do that. I didn't have to live that life. You know, I never had to live like that, you know, and I'm like, it hurt me, but I still wanted to be with all I wanted was to be with my siblings. So even in the mindset of knowing what y'all were going through and knowing that, you know, how life was for y'all, I still wanted that, because I wanted my siblings. I wanted my mama. Like that was the end all be all. I wanted my mama.
I think it's so funny how we live differently and we wanted each other's life.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to live with Titi. I didn't care if she was strict. I wanted strict in my life, because I wouldn't say the freedom, but the way that we lived, I never really agree with. But being a little kid, like, you got to be with your mama or whatever. Yeah. And I never really knew my dad growing up. And so I never really had that relationship. And so I was just like, there was a point to where I remember meeting your dad, but I don't remember like actually like him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you were young when he passed. I was only 9, and so you were 7. So.
Yeah. So I remember his face, but I didn't remember him. But I just love the fact that you knew your dad and you had a relationship with your dad. You knew his family and you had a relationship with them. And when I would come over and they would welcome me, you know what I'm saying? And so I love that. I'm just like, I take the structure.
And that's so crazy because we live different lives. Like, as children, you really don't understand, you know, what you're going through and how great or not so great, you know, you have it, or how not so great someone else has it, you know. We're so quick to be like, you know, as children, and it's just because we just don't know, but we're so quick to be like, oh, I hate my life, or I wish this, and you don't realize like how great you actually have it, you know. And I didn't realize like I had it great. Yeah, my auntie was strict, but looking back on hindsight, like that was what I needed, and you know, and that was good. But as a child, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care how good you say this life is. It's not, because my mama not here. And especially after my daddy passed, my mama not here. My daddy passed. I ain't got none of my sisters. I see them when I see them. And the crazier thing was I had to find out about a lot of pregnancies through my cousin. Like, I did not know a lot of times when Nono was pregnant. I cannot say, I did, honestly, after Jasmine, I didn't know when she was pregnant with none of them.
That's funny. It was only 4 after Jasmine.
Like, I met Janet when she was older. My own twin.
Wow. So she's definitely your twin.
When she was like maybe maybe 3, 4, or something like that. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know. And it was like, and it was Kiki. I got all my information from Kiki because we would talk all the time. And she's like, yeah, the name I had a baby. No, she didn't. Yes, she did. Again? What number is that?
Girl, your mama was pregnant every year.
Literally, it seemed like that. So, yeah, and yeah, I did not know.
I feel that it's a lot of us, but I don't feel that it's a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? Like once you actually start naming everybody and the fact that you know everybody, it don't feel like a lot. So do it feel like a lot to you?
Girl, yeah, because I know everybody. Listen, let me tell you. I knew all the needy kids. I knew all of my siblings. But let me tell you, when it came to one, I knew Tabitha, and I knew the twins. And I think I knew Shanika. I ain't know the rest. I was
it really don't feel like
Mel? Who is Mel? Like, she did? She had another child? Like,
so funny.
Wait. Who is this? I don't know them. Like, like there was so many people. Even at family reunions, you're like, yeah, because that's your cousin.
Yeah.
My cousin
Yes.
I didn't know. Like, and it's because I wasn't around to know. So I only knew the ones that I was always seeing. And I always saw all of these kids. And then of course, all of my siblings. And then I only saw a select few of one. And it was just like, who? Like, I don't know who that is. No, don't know. I knew China.
Is so funny.
I knew China. I knew Olivia. Like, it was select few that I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know all of them. I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't know whose child that is. No, who's that?
That is funny.
And I'm so serious.
Was it 2009 when TT passed?
Yep.
Okay. So what was that like for you? I don't want to get too emotional, but like, what was that like for you? Because she was your mom, even though like we had our mom, but like she literally raised you. So what was that like when she passed?
It was heartbreaking because I knew it. Like, even when your family's sick, it's like, no one lives forever.
Right.
So no matter how sick they are, you're never prepared for them to die or for them to pass away. You're never prepared for it. No matter how sick they are, they can be a vegetable. But when they are gone, it's just like, it still hits you like a rock. And so she was very sick, like, and I realized how God had placed me in a situation to understand what was going on with her, because I had just 2008, I had just came from being down at school, and I had the government, the state of Illinois, they was giving out all these jobs, these summer jobs. And so I had luckily looked up and I got one working at a nursing home with people that were in their first stage of Alzheimer's. Yeah. They were sane, but sometimes they would forget and they would ask the same questions. And they would forget things that they normally would remember. They wouldn't forget. And they would ask the same questions over and over. And so that was the summer of 2008. And so I realized TT passed February 2009. So it's not that many months. And so I realized, like, in the fall, because it was only a summer job, so it was in the fall, I started noticing, I'm like, this is weird, because we lived in that house for years. And so she knew she had always been partially blind, but she knew how to get to her bedroom. She knew how to get she knew her ins and outs of that house. She could go and come as she pleased and wouldn't fall over. But it was at the moment when she went in her room, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was a Wednesday. She went in her room, and we had got her a portable toilet, so that it was easier for her, to not have to keep going back and forth to the bathroom, so she can get up when she wants to, whatever. So we got our portable toilet, Uncle Bubba did, and she went in, she used the bathroom, and so she knew it was right at the door, of her bedroom, so she could easily walk out and walk back to her couch. So she came out, she went to the bedroom, she went to the toilet, and she ended up going further in her room. And she was like, Vannessa, where is my couch? And I was like, I'm like, it's out here. You went. She was like, I can't find my couch. I don't know what happened to my couch. I'm like, that's because you went further. And it was at that moment that I realized, I'm like, wow. And she had asked me, what day is it?
Yeah.
Or no, it was, what time is it? And I told her. And then she asked me again. She was like, I asked you what time it was. I'm like, I said it, and people that are in the first stage of Alzheimer's, they become very mean, and it's not, and you have to understand that it's not their fault,
right?
But they become very mean. She became very, very mean, and I was just young and doing my own, finally able to do my own thing, whatever. I don't gotta listen to you, that type of young and dumb. And so I ended up leaving the house. Well, a family member was living with us, and I ended up leaving the house. Well, he worked at the store, and so he came in, went to see, please. Uncle Bubba had left, and he came back, and TT was at home by herself. And when I tell you, he's never went off on me. He went clear off on me. Like, don't you ever leave her here by herself. And I was like, she wasn't. He was like, well, he had to go. It is not his responsibility. Like, he just went off on me. And I was just like, wow, okay. But yeah, and so when she passed, like I said, I will never forget. I had went out, and I was still in my young and dumb stage. And she told me, she was like, when you come back, I want to talk to you. And I was like, okay. Well, I went out, and I was just like, and I wasn't thinking about the time. I definitely wasn't thinking that anything crazy or anything like that was going to happen. I went out with some friends, and I came back. It was about 1 o'clock, a little after 1. And I went in the room. I came in the house, and I looked at her. I was like, oh, yeah, she did say she wanted to talk to me, whatever. When I looked at her, and I was like, she looked like she's not breathing. Oh, and I shrugged. Like, legit, I was like, oh, well, she breathing. And I went on to my room, went to sleep. I've never in my life heard my uncle cry. Never in my life. Never. His sisters have passed. We went to their funeral. I never seen him cry. Not saying that he didn't, but I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. But it was like 3:30 in the morning, banging on my door. I had my bedroom, banging on my bedroom door. He crying. She gone. Why gone? And I was just like, what? And I jumped up, and I was like, what? Went in there and touched her. She was ice cold. So it takes time. So when I came home at 1 in the morning and looked at her and said that she looked like she's not breathing, she wasn't. She was already gone. And I was just like, and it broke me, because I was so hurt. I was like, all she wanted to do was talk to me. I'm like, and I was so in myself. I didn't see it. I didn't pay attention. And now she's gone, and I can't talk to her no more. And I was really broken, really hurt. And I remember having a dream, like sometime later. And she was in it. And she was just like, we were in a limo. And I don't remember what all happened, but I just remember her telling me, remember her saying, it was her going off in the limo, and I was outside, and I was like, wait, I'm coming. She was like, no, you got to let me go. You got to let me go. And I was just like, and that stuck with me, because I hadn't let her go. Every single day throughout the day, I would see something or think something that would remind me of her, and I would kick myself because she just wanted to talk to me. And I was so in myself that I didn't do it. Like, if I had got home a little before, we could have talked. She could have talked to me. Maybe I could have stopped this. And so, yeah, I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so
yeah,
it broke me because I didn't expect it.
So do you feel like you got over that thinking process of, like, maybe if I would have stayed, like, do you feel better now compared to? maybe like 5 years later?
Yeah, I'm better now with it. Because I mean, it does over time. It does get easier. It still hurts. You still feel it, and you will always have those days where you just think about it, you reminisce, or maybe those songs you hear and it just make you think of that person, and you just start bawling and start crying, or just like, man, get into this deep thought. But yeah, having that dream of her really helped, but just over time, it got better. But I still sometimes think about, like, if only I had just talked to her. I wonder what she wanted to tell me. I will never know now, but yeah. I know, right?
Girl. So, okay, I need happy thoughts, okay, because I'm start crying. So,
Yeah,
what is one of your favorite memories? Because I have to say mine. And for a long time, I was mad at Titi because she made some pumpkin pie.
No, she definitely did it. She made sweet potato.
Yes, it was sweet. I knew it was orange. And listen here, listen. I don't like pie. Listen, I never liked pie, right? And she said, everybody up in this house gonna eat this pie. And I said, Titi, do I really gotta eat this? And she cut me a piece and she brought me a piece from the kitchen, and I was sitting in the front of the couch. And I just like eating that and then making the ugliest faces. And I'm so glad she didn't see my faces because I ate all the pie. But ever since then, like I never liked pie for real, because it was just I couldn't get into it. And she made me eat it. She made me eat it. So I was just like,
yeah,
I'm
you weren't
sitting
getting out of
there.
that.
Huh?
I said, yeah, you weren't getting out of that.
I know. And I'm like, I gotta eat this. But no, that's one of my favorites because um it's a good memory for me.
Yeah.
So what is one of your favorites?
Oh gosh. Mm, so many. I mean, honestly, she was really my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was really, like, I could talk to her about anything. I could talk to her about anything, no matter what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't judge me, and she gave me the real. Like, it was the real. Like, here you go. Like, no, well, you better do this, and you need to do that, and But my favorite memory. I feel like I'm drawing a blank, but there's so many. We would mainly one of the favorite things that I enjoyed, I'll say that, is our conversations, basically, like, because she was always there for me. Like, she was always, she never like, although she was strict, she always tried to, let me know, like, she just want what's best for me, and that, she just, like, you just can't do this. You just don't do this. And it's like, if ever I told her somebody was doing XYZ, that was it. Yeah. Like, oh, she was ready. She was ready to go. She was trained to go. Yeah, and I would be like, well, they said such and such. Who? Who? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I knew every time I would go, like, where her couch was, and it was that let-out chair, and I would go behind her, and I was like, TT, and she was like, what you want? And I was like, who said I wanted anything? I just wanted to talk. She's like, girl, I know you better than you know yourself. Now, what you want? Not to mention the cooking and, like, yeah, it was.
Something, I wish there was something that I picked up, because I really slacked in that area, because she cooked every day, but I never actually was interested enough to actually go in the kitchen with her and watch what she was doing. Or when y'all was in the kitchen cooking, I never actually.
You had a choice. I didn't. I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to be.
But that's good though. I wish I would have. I wish I would have went into the kitchen because I feel like it would have benefited me now.
Girl, yeah, but in hindsight, honey, no, because we would have to get up early in the morning.
Yep.
Super early because there is no sleeping in, especially for holidays. Like, we getting up early in the morning. I gotta wash these greens. I gotta pick these beans. Like, I gotta peel these potatoes and cut them up. Like, first of all, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm gonna eat it, but I don't want to do this. Like, why do I gotta get up? But I wasn't about to question her though, because I'm not about to lose my life. But why I gotta get up? Like, what? Like, why I gotta do this? And so, yeah, that was, yeah.
That was funny.
I hated it. It was staying up late. I would be sleep, half sleep. I'm just sleeping. You gonna go to sleep in a minute, but you're gonna finish this, and you need to watch me so you can make somebody a good, or should I make somebody a good wife or somebody a good husband? Somehow, whatever she used to say, I'd be like, who is thinking about that? I don't want to make nobody a good nothing.
Everybody is thinking about that. So from what I hear, from what I hear, everybody thinking about it. Because I think it's funny now. Jared, he's always trying to send me over somebody's house so I can learn how they cook. I'm like, I don't want to go to nobody's house. Okay, it's too late now.
Girl, it's never too late. Now you got YouTube and everything.
That's true, but catch me later when we have kids, maybe. I don't know. But you, and I was like, you done show me that you know how to cook. So you do it better than me. So what? Do you remember? I don't remember how old I was, but I know we was young. We were living in a shelter at the time, and I ran away from the shelter and I came to your house. And I told you, I knocked on the door, you answered, and you said, well, no, like, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, she said I could stay here. And girl, because it was in the daytime, she said I could stay. She said I could stay. So can I stay? Girl. And so I asked TT, I told TT the same thing. And I was just like, I lied to her. She gonna get me when she find out. But TT was like, yeah, baby, stay. So next thing we know, later on at night, police come banging on the door, boom, 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 boom. And like, they was looking for me and I had to go back. Girl, why when I went back to that shelter, they put alarm on the door? Because this lady, she did something to me that I didn't like. And so I just packed my little plastic bag and I left out the back door because like all the adults were in like a meeting. And so I packed my little bag. I left out the back door. I went in between the gate under. I like slid between there and I just came to your house. It wasn't that far. We was still in the neighborhood. So
you were not in the neighborhood and it was far. It was very far because I was like,
but
you walked here? It's not close. And it was hot.
It was so hot.
I was like, no. And if I remember, you had on like, I think you had on them red and white like joggers or something. Like they were maybe capris or something.
I just threw them on. Yeah.
I was like, you walked all the way over there? Girl. And everybody was looking for you.
Oh my gosh, everybody's looking for me. And I got in so much trouble when I got back. I was so mad because when I got back to the place, everybody was just like, girl, we was looking upstairs, we was looking downstairs, looking in the backyard, we was looking everywhere for you, and we couldn't find you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't want to be here. I hate it here.
And I wanted you to stay. I was like, but can she stay? Like, she don't like it. Can she just stay for a little bit? Can she just stay for a little while?
My hard-headed self. I just wanted to leave. It's crazy because I don't even know why I came to your house though. Because Needy stayed right down the street. And
it was far, whether you went to our house or Needy house, because Needy stayed down the street from us.
Right.
And it was still far.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know why it was your house that I came to. But yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, I was in so much trouble.
I bet. Because everybody was different. It was like,
that's what
it was like, you okay? Like, what
scared the crap out of no. And for a second, it was just like, I just, like, it was like an impulse thinking type thing. And it was just like, I hate it here. I don't want to be here no more. Like, we all in this one big old room and just cluttered, and I'm tired of it. And I just want to leave. And so I did. And then, Jesus.
The girl. And see, I would have ran away, but I was scared of TT. So I wasn't going to do it.
Have you ever tried?
In my mind, yeah. I was scared. Like, I wasn't about to sit here and do that lady like that. What? Do you? Girl, I thought, first of all, she done told me too many times, I didn't bring you in this world, but I will take you out. Okay. Say word. I'm going to just write in my diary about how, what I think about you, because, and how I'm going to call the police, and the police going to come, and they going to see all these webs on me from when you whooped me. Girl, and the webs were gone the next day. I was like, I can't never do nothing.
And it wasn't even like it was actually, you could take a picture.
Girl, nothing.
Oh my God.
She was like, and then I said that, she was like, and if you think about calling the police, she's like, I'll call them for you, and I'm gonna whoop you when they get here. And they gonna tell me to whoop you. Wait a minute. So you mean it? And I'm like, in my mind, my little kid, so you mean to tell me if you call the police gonna allow you to whoop me? So why am I gonna call them? I ain't got no way out. Ain't no way out of this. I ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna just stay here. I'm gonna just be cool.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Like, girl, And the crazy thing is, she always told me, she was like, I love you, and I would never call the police on you. It's like, I know. But every time she said it, I believed it.
Girl.
Every time. I'm not even about to change.
That is so funny. That's so funny. Because when we were younger, Nono used to whoop us. And by the time, I think she got tired of whooping us, because by the time it was either Janet or Gigi, they got older, she stopped whooping everybody. Like, we ain't get whoopings no more. She used to find everything she can pick up.
Yeah, because Brittany ain't getting no whoopings, and I wasn't having it. I was like, little girl. Your mouth is foul.
I think Nono was tired by the time. Before
12
she got
kids, I bet. I would be too.
Girl.
12 kids,
and I'm just like, and it's funny because some of the stuff that the younger ones got away with, I'm like, wait a minute, if I would have did that, you would have been with me. You would have been chasing me, and Nono can run. Ooh, she was so annoying because she can run. And she just had the strength. God gave her that strength, because
girl.
It was funny.
Never do it.
Funny. But one of the things that I am very, very, very happy of is that even though, like, we live separately, we still stayed in touch. Like, we knew who you were. We were able to know where you lived and come over whenever, and it was so much fun when we were together. So I think that's one of my favorite things about growing up, is the fact that, like, we all knew each other.
Yeah.
And no matter where we went, because Lynette was all the way in Missouri somewhere, but we still knew who she was.
Mm-hmm.
It was Minnesota.
I don't know. It was the M state. I don't even know. It was the M state.
Missouri.
Okay. I don't know where.
I can't stand you.
I really thought it was Minnesota. I was like, it was Minnesota. It's neither here nor there.
It's not, but I'm gonna let you know that it was Missouri.
Okay. I hated when she left, because to me, it felt like she just up and left, and she was gone for 7 years. And I was just like, when am I gonna see my sister again? Like I haven't seen her in so long. Like, what's going on? What's happening? But she would write, and that
and
was
when she did come to visit, she did come to visit everybody. So
she did. It was great always being able to see y'all for birthdays and Christmases and stuff. And it was just like, I remember every Christmas I got a lot of stuff, and I was just like, well, how did I get this? I'm like, what did y'all get? Like, what did y'all get? You know, and I couldn't understand it. But of course, you know, it's like looking back, it's like, because there's nowhere for everything to go for y'all, and there's nowhere for y'all to keep everything. You know,
because we moved around so much. Ooh, there were many Santa Clauses. Okay. And so the things that we did get, we basically shared sometimes, because like the places that we were at, or even if we were at Needy House, we always got something. But some of the things that we had to share, and we was okay with that because we were never like materialistic type of people. And so it was just like, whatever we got, that's what we got, and we gonna play together no matter what. So
for me, it was, I wanted y'all to stay, and I just like the best Christmas for me. Like, I got stuff, but the best part of Christmas for me was when I got to see y'all, and I got to see my mama, like, and spend time with y'all. And I hated when y'all had to go. I was like, why do they gotta go? Like,
but girl, as soon as we came up in there, it was just loud.
I loved it, but it was plenty to eat.
It was.
Loved it. Like, I just wanted y'all to be here. Like,
you know what's funny? I really miss that now. Like, being with just me and Jerry in the house, and it's just so quiet. It bothers me. It bothers me how quiet it is. And I'm just like, I need somebody to yell at some kids, or somebody yelling at each other, or somebody yelling outside because they about to fight or something. And then we all rushing to the window to watch the fight. Listen, I need sometimes. Yeah. And so I get that when I go back to Chicago, and then I'm okay. And then
and then you're good. I got my fix. I'm good now.
Exactly. I got my fix. I'm good.
Yeah, I just like literally anytime I was able to see my siblings, anytime I was able to see my mama, was legit the highlight of my day. And I would talk about it all the time. And I'm telling y'all, like, y'all have no clue. Like, I would legit, we would be coming from the doctor's office, and I would be like, and I'm always, because I'm always looking out the window looking for my mama. And I'm just like looking to see if I see her. And I'm like, oh, there go my mama. And every time my uncle would find a swerve on over and stop and let me have my moment and talk, and I would be so happy. And it's just like, and I never understood, you know, like what that, like how that was for me, or how it was for them, you know, because they were my parents and they did everything that they could. But every chance I get, I'm wanting my mother. And it's not because my mama didn't want me, but I'm just like, I'm super geek to be with my mama. And then here I go giving them all these problems, and they are doing, you know, everything for me.
I was just saying, because no had enough problem.
Yeah. Like, legit, like me, you know, helping to raise Layla, now I'm understanding like how that felt, how they possibly felt. You know, I know they understood it, but how they possibly felt and how hard it was for them, like, because they are giving me everything. You know, TT, you know, had difficulty when it came to pregnancies, and so they never had, when they finally did have a child of their own, you know, he ended up passing away. So as a baby, so really as an infant. And so, you know, they raised a lot of people. And so raising me and, you know, trying to give me the world, and here I am, every chance I get, I'm just wanting my mama, and I'm giving them all kinds of hell. And, you know, I go through that now with my stepdaughter, and it's just like, you know, I love her and I know she loves me, and it's just like, man, I can't imagine how they felt. Like, they were giving me everything, but every chance I only wanted my mama. That's all I wanted. My mama could have they could have given me $5,000, and I would have been happy in that moment. But my mama could have came and bought me a toy from the beauty supply for $1.
Mm-hmm.
And my face would light up, my whole world, and I would play with that. I would be super, super stoked, super happy about it. And it was just like, man, you know, it's like now I'm seeing what they felt. And it's like, of course, I can't go back and change it, and I can't apologize,
Right.
but I definitely understand it.
Yeah. I would say that I felt I feel that like even though they knew that you weren't theirs, it was still just the fact that like you were still there, and so they felt that like you growing up. But I don't know. I don't feel like they felt any type of way. Well, just me thinking, but I don't feel like they felt any type of way about you and your mom because everybody want their mom, everybody want their dad. I feel like I never really spoke out boldly about wanting my dad around, but I was still trying to ask no questions about it, even though I didn't get answers. But it wasn't like me trying to like, oh my God, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, and maybe my daddy can do that. It was just like asking questions. Who is he? So,
But yeah,
but that's the only thing. Oh Lord, this was good.
this was
Oh,
great.
I love you, sister.
I love you.
And I
I
have to
love you.
say that I am very proud of you. I don't say this to you enough, but I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of the woman that you have become. I'm very happy that you are my sister and we have so many great memories together. I love you. Even if we don't talk every day, I love you.
I love you. I love you. Like, I'm happy, you know, that we do talk when we do. I mean, life happens. Life is going on for both of us, so we don't get time to talk like that. I mean, we did used to talk all the time. When you were in college, we talked all the time. You're like, Vanessa, let me tell you about this. Like, yes, girl, who is it? Which one? And I couldn't keep up all the time. But we would talk all the time. But yeah, I am happy I did this. This was fun. I love going back down memory lane.
But I do want to say thank you so much for being here.